Hi everyone, Stephen Aitchison here. Now it's all back into gear because I'm now doing, I told you about an event I've done in London for 40 people, for people that joined yourdigitalformula.com, and it's yourdigitalformula.com is really about people who've got a message to share out into the world. It's for coaches, authors, musicians, artists, people like that, and they've got some kind of message to share, they just don't know how to do it. So that's what yourdigitalformula.com is all about. So we got together, 40 of us, went down to London, and I held an event in London, and it was fantastic. Really fantastic. So much so that I'm doing it all over again in Scotland this time, and it's in June 2017. So I've just organised the event for it, the event venue, and it's going to be at the National Museum of Scotland in June 2017. And I'm really excited. Me and my team, especially Maria, have been working hard on this, and we're getting all the speakers arranged, we're getting all the catering arranged and everything else. It's just going to be a fantastic place. So I cannot wait. So what does that have to do with the topic we're going to be speaking about today? And that's 7 irrational thoughts that disrupt your life. That's what we're going to be talking about. Well, really it kind of relates to what I was doing down in London. One, my old self, say 10 years ago, my irrational self would have said, I can't hold an event. I've never spoke in public before. How can I do that? And people are just going to say, oh, he's rubbish, he's no good on stage, and my knees are going to buckle and everything else. But this new me is totally different. Because when I feel the fear of something, that's when I know I'm on the right path. When I feel kind of excited and nervous at the same time, I know I'm on the right path, and I just go for it. I just jump in and say, okay, I'm going to face my fear, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did down in London. And I organised the event, 40 people came, thought it was brilliant, thought my speech was quite good, and we had other speakers on as well who were excellent as well. So it was really good. But if I kind of listened to all my old self and all my irrational thoughts about people not liking me and me not being good enough, there's no way I would have done it. 10 years ago I wouldn't have done this. There's no way I would have done it if I had listened to my irrational thoughts. And that's what today's topic is going to be about today. So 7 irrational thoughts or 7 common irrational thoughts that we have. So the first one is kind of why I've felt all of these, to be honest, and you probably felt them as well. But the first irrational thought that a lot of people have: if someone criticises me, there must be something wrong with me. Now, on a higher level, you kind of know that there's nothing wrong with you if somebody criticises you, but we take it to heart. We say, okay, what's wrong with me? Why don't they like me? Why are they criticising me? Simply, it just means that person has got a differing opinion of you than you have about yourself, and everybody else probably has about you as well. It's just a differing opinion, and that's all it is. So your irrational thinking would say, okay, there's something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? Why is this person criticising me? But it's not about that. It's about the other person. It's about the other person, what kind of beliefs and kind of issues they have in life not liking you, or it's just a clash of personalities, and that's all it is. It's nothing personal. Well, it might be a bit personal, but it's not just to do with you, it's more to do with them as well. So that irrational thought, if someone criticises me, there must be something wrong with me, is completely irrational if you think about it on a higher level. There's nothing wrong with you, it's to do with the other person, and maybe a clash of personalities or just differing opinions about each other. Because if we all thought the same, the world would be a shitty place, wouldn't it? If we all kind of done the same thing and thought the same thing and had all the same opinions, it'd be a pretty boring place, wouldn't it, to live in, if you think about it. So that's all it is. That's the first irrational thought, or the first irrational common thought that a lot of people have. The second one is, I must always seek approval in order to feel good about myself. And a lot of people have this. You kind of seek approval to feel good about yourself. Now again, thinking about it, that is kind of irrational. Why would you need somebody else's approval You don't need anybody else's approval to prove that you're a good person, or to prove that you're good at your job, or to prove that you're good in business, or to prove that you're a good writer. You just need to do it, put it out there, and let's see what happens. That's all. You don't need anybody else's approval. Now, it's good obviously to get mentoring, but that's totally different. Mentoring is about teaching you ways to think, and that includes ways to think about yourself. When I got a mentor for my business, I've got a business coach who is fabulous, and she just changed the way I kind of thought about business, and it just changed my whole perspective on business. And when you can do that, if you can change your whole perspective on your own life, then magical things happen in your life. Totally magical things happen. Everything kind of that you want starts to come to you because you change your perspective on life. So you don't need anybody else's approval to feel good about yourself. If you can start feeling good from the inside and start believing in yourself and start trusting yourself and start trusting your instincts, then that's when you'll feel good about yourself and you won't need anybody else's approval. Who gives a shit what anybody else thinks? Honestly, why would you care about someone that you don't really know? Why would you care about what they thought about you? It's kind of crazy when we think about it, but we all do it. I've done it in the past. I still do it sometimes. I'm looking for approval, but mainly from my wife. Because the only person I kind of seek approval from is my wife. I just want to do good by my wife, and I want to be as good a husband as possible, and I just kind of seek her approval unconsciously. It's not a conscious thing where I want a pat on the head and just saying, yeah, you've been a good boy. It's nothing to do with that. I just want to kind of live in congruence with our marriage as well. That's kind of why I say I seek approval from my wife, but that would be the only person. Anybody else, it doesn't matter. I mean, I get a lot of people writing to me saying I shouldn't be posting stuff on Facebook that I post. I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing that. Now, if I listened to them, this Facebook page wouldn't be here, it wouldn't exist. And why would I care about what anybody else thought? If they don't like me, that's cool. That's absolutely cool. If they do like me, that's cool as well. It's brilliant. And it's the same for you as well. Don't care about what others think if you don't know them. If it's somebody really close, if it's your partner, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, that's different. That's about talking. That's about communication. That's totally different altogether. But other people, it doesn't matter. So that's the second thing. The third irrational thought that a lot of us have is, I won't try anything new unless I know I will be good at it. How mental is that? That is, if you didn't try anything new in your life, that you wouldn't try it unless you knew you were going to be good at it. You wouldn't try anything. You wouldn't get on a bike. You wouldn't go to work. You wouldn't do anything. You just wouldn't do anything at all. If you think about it that way, we all do things that we have to do, even though we're not good at it, because we know we're going to get the training, or we know we can teach ourselves to become better at what we ultimately want to achieve. So if you think like that, I'm not going to try anything new unless I know I'm going to be good at it, that's about your kind of stuff as well. That's about your self-confidence as well, and that's something you should be working on all the time anyway. We all should be working on our self-confidence. Not to get to the stage of being arrogant or anything like that, but just to have an inner, silent self-confidence. You ever notice on stage when, say for the X Factor, for example, or any of the programs like that, when somebody comes on and is full of confidence and they're just really bubbly and everything, they're really gregarious and outgoing, you know there's something kind of wrong sometimes, because that confidence is false. It's a false confidence, and it comes across. But you also notice when other people come on stage and they're very quiet, but they're also confident at the same time. That's the kind of silent confidence I'm talking about. Silent confidence we should all kind of cultivate within ourselves, and that is just a beautiful thing to see. And that's what I've tried to cultivate over the last 10, 15, 20 years in my life, and that's what I'm teaching other people as well, to become silently confident. And when you become silently confident, it gives you an inner power. You don't have to be kind of all boasting and bragging about everything all the time, because that's not confidence. That's a kind of false confidence to make you try and look good and feel better about yourself. But if you've got silent confidence, people are attracted to you. People come to you without you kind of putting yourself out there. And that's the kind of confidence I'm talking about. And it's a beautiful confidence to watch as well in somebody. So the fourth irrational thought that a lot of us have, it's not my fault my life didn't go the way I wanted. This is going to be unpopular. A lot of it is our fault when things don't go the way we want. Because what we can do about the things, the problems that we have in life, we can try and fix them, or we can try and learn from them. It becomes a problem when you don't try and learn from it and you get on the poor me train and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, it just didn't work out, I can't do it anymore, I just can't take this anymore. If you kind of do that all the time, you're not going to get anywhere in life. Whereby if you make a mistake and you pick yourself up, you learn from that mistake and you keep going forward, then that's when you're taking responsibility for your life. I think too many of us are not taking responsibility, and that's going to be a kick up the arse for some people, and I'm not going to be liked for that. But it's true that sometimes we do need a kick up the arse, and I've spoke about this before and it's been very unpopular, but we do. I need a kick up the arse, and I'm one of the, I work 80 hours a week and I'm real motivated, but sometimes I still need a kick up the arse, because I get on that kind of poor me train and say, oh, I've tried this and it didn't work, I'm not going to try again. And just say, okay, pick yourself up, learn from it and keep going forward. And every single mistake, pick yourself up, learn from it, keep going forward. Pick yourself up, learn from it, keep going forward. And that's how you become confident, that's how you become competent in anything that you do. So sometimes, as I say, we do need to kick up the arse, and taking responsibility for your life is one of the biggest things you can do in your life. It's going to be a life changer for you if you just really are honest with yourself and just say, okay, that was my fault, I should have done that differently, or I should have done this differently, or I should have went back and learned from the mistakes I made. I'm not talking about something happening to you, I'm talking about the things you do in life and you get on the poor me train because something you've done in life. So I'm not talking about all that kind of stuff in the past that people have done to you. I'm talking about you ultimately taking responsibility for your life. Number 5 irrational thought, the 5th irrational thought is, I am inferior to everyone else. No, you're not. You're not inferior to anybody, but at the same time you're not superior to anybody either. And this was a huge problem I had when I was younger. I always thought people were more intelligent, people were better looking, people were better at sports, every single person I met was better at something than me. And I always had the thought, everybody's better than me. And it's just crazy to think that way. You've got something that you do better than anybody else. Everybody has. Every single person, whether it be our organisation, whether it be writing, whether it be business, whether it be anything at all, you've got something that you do that you're better than anybody else, but you're not superior to anybody else. Because again, there's always going to be somebody better than you, so it's that silent confidence again. Having that confidence within yourself to be good at something without comparing yourself to other people. And that's something we need to try and look at. First we have to recognise it. So when you're going to work, if you usually feel, okay, everybody's better than me in the workplace, when you recognise you're thinking that, stop and think and ask yourself the question, are they really better than me? Am I really inferior to everybody else? And when you ask the question, your brain starts working. I'll just say, well, no, you're not, because you're good at this, you're good at organisation, you're good at writing reports, you're good at this, you're good at that. But if you keep telling yourself, I'm inferior to everybody else, or everybody is better than me, if you keep telling yourself that, it'll become true. It'll just become a belief that you have, and it'll become a rock solid belief, and it'll be difficult to get rid of that belief. But if you start recognising that you've got those thoughts around people, then that's when to start questioning that belief. And then that belief becomes molten, and it's not a rock solid belief, and then you start to question it more and more and more, and you give yourself gratitude. You're grateful for what you're good at, and think about that all the time. Again, not to be big-headed, it's about that silent confidence again. Number 6, the 6th irrational thought was, I was rejected once, which means there's something wrong with me. Again, that goes back to the other stuff we've been talking about. Because you've been rejected in the past, or what you deem as being rejected, is just a differing of personalities. So say you're going steady with a girl or a boy or something like that, and they dumped you. For whatever reason, they dumped you. And it's happened to everybody. I mean, I've been dumped loads of times in the past. But I had these thoughts as well, there must be something wrong with me. She dumped me, why did she dump me? And I just would go in a mild depression almost. I'm not saying depression because that's something bigger, but a mild depression, just go, what's wrong with me? Why did that person dump me? When all it is just two personalities not getting on. And that's all that is as well. And again, we've got to recognise that and just say, okay, it didn't work out, let's move on. And I'm not saying move on to a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend, I'm just saying move on with life. Shit happens, and it's going to happen all the time. And if you're younger, you're probably going to get dumped, or you're going to dump somebody else, and they might feel like that. But it's time to move on from this. Recognise that you feel like that and just say, okay, this happened, I feel shit, but it's going to go away in a few days, a few weeks or something, and then I'll just get on with my life. And the last common one, is if I feel happy about life, something is going to go wrong. And I bet a lot of you recognise that. You just say, oh, life's gone too good, it can't be this good, something's going to go wrong. Well, guess what? Something will go wrong because you're looking for something to go wrong. So that is completely irrational thinking as well. And again, I've experienced that loads of times, just saying, right, it's gone too good, life's gone too good just now, something's about to go wrong. And inevitably it would. Whereas now I just feel, oh, life's gone really good just now, how can I make it better? How could I make it better for my family? How could I make it better for me? How could I make it better for my business? How could I make it better? And when I think like that, when I ask those questions, then life inevitably gets better. But if I was stuck in the pattern whereby, okay, life's gone good just now, something's going to go wrong, then something would go wrong. Because I'm looking for it and it's going to be attractive to me as well. And it's all about your energy inside. We're not going to discuss that today, but it's all about the energy you give out and the energy you take in as well. So if you're looking for something to go wrong because everything's going too good just now, something's going to go wrong. But ask yourself the question, how can I make it better? How can I make it better for me, my family, my work, my business, my writing, my partners, everything? If you just ask those open questions, forward-thinking questions as well, that really makes you think about life. Because when you ask those brilliant questions, instead of asking the questions that kind of stop you from moving on, when you ask the brilliant questions, how can I make it better? That one question, that will drive you forward, and that will play on your subconscious mind. It will marinate in your mind, and messages will come up from your subconscious mind. The answers will come up from your subconscious mind. So that's the type of questions you want to be asking yourself. Forward-thinking questions. Questions that give you energy, questions that give you motivation. Always think about, when you're questioning yourself, make it a good question instead of a bad question. So that's my thoughts for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the live feed just now, see if we're still getting any questions. We're still live. Excellent. Just making sure everything's working okay, because it went off for a wee bit there. Okay, so does anybody have any questions at all? Angela O'Connell saying, thank you, Steve. Thank you for watching, Angela. I do appreciate you. Be the VIP of your own life. I like that, Demi Navilla. Very good points to live by. Alva Stewart. Pauline, I know I'm not alone in this, and that alone has helped me a lot in life so far. Yeah, Pauline, it's good if you've got somebody with you. Like I've got my wife Sharon. She's been without Sharon, I wouldn't kind of be here talking to you just now. I don't mean I'd be dead or anything. I just mean I wouldn't have had the confidence to keep on going and keep on pushing myself. So it's brilliant to have a partner as well, or a friend, a really good friend, or a really good group of friends as well. If you can cultivate those friendships and that love as well, it's just fantastic. So I know what you mean, Pauline. Number 7 is definitely me. It's strange. It's a lot of people, to be honest. So a lot of people actually feel that way. If life has gone too good, something's bound to go wrong. And I remember my mum saying that as well in the past when we were younger. My mum used to say that quite. I don't know why. We had a brilliant kind of family life. well, what I deemed as a child to be a brilliant family life. Shannon Burgess, great lesson. Thank you again, Steve. Many blessings to you and your family. Thank you very much for watching, Shannon. I do appreciate you. Mark Vandertuk, thank you for your advice. Thanks, Mark. Positive people are so necessary. Julianne Driscoll, definitely, Julie. If you can get a group of people who are really positive and they'll kind of always kind of support you no matter what you do. Well, not no matter what you do, but if they support you all the time, then that's a brilliant group of friends too. That's the friendships you want to cultivate. People who are down on the world all the time, or down on you, or just are not good friendships to cultivate. Excuse me. Becky Edwards, years of irrational thinking is hard to overcome. It is, Becky, but I'm living proof. For years, for 25 years, the first 25 years of my life was all done on irrational thinking, on irrational beliefs, just on everything like that. 25 years, I'm not kidding, 25 years, that's how I live my life. And it's a horrible place to be. But once you start questioning it, Becky, once you start questioning those beliefs and those irrational thoughts, that's when things begin to slowly change. Now, it's taken me 22 years from there to get to here, but it was a gradual process. But you can do it in a year, 2 years. There's loads of processes that you can do to change your beliefs and change your irrational thoughts as well. And I'm going to give you a link down below to a free download as well that I think about 4,000 people or 4,000 readers already have downloaded, and I do really appreciate that. But I'll give you a link down below about how to be kinder and more loving to yourself. That's where it all starts. It starts with yourself first, and then you can start kind of projecting that onto other people and that positivity onto other people as well. Marie Andre, thank you for all your words. It's true, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. We've not got any questions at the moment, so I'll leave it there just now, and I'll bid my goodbyes just now, and have a brilliant day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.